Okay, for this next step, put your paints away. You're going to do thumb nail sketches. And you're going to do at least 6. Okay? So draw squares. It's even fun drawing squares. Alright, I'm going to show you 3 options, and then you can come up with any variation that you decide. And basically, possibilities are endless. I'm going to show you the easiest. Easy. I'm going to show you difficult. And I'm going to show you most difficult. It's the black diamond. So here's your skiing analogy. Green trails, blue trails, black diamonds. Alright? And here we go. The easiest waving flag. So you start by flowing forward, curl back, and then forward. Boom. So it's forward, back, and off the page. And then at the apex of the turn, go down, stop. Apex of the turn, go down, stop. So if you can see that, that's your basic flag. Now this is where your stripes will be. Parallel the same curve like train tracks, that's one track. Another, 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 go off the page. This is a red stripe, that's a red stripe, parallel. Just for interest, I want that to be red and white. This will be where the blue is, so there will be stars here. Sketch your stars. They go diagonally, and it's a good idea to show pieces of them going off the page and out of the composition. And so this is the dark, will be a red. This is red, the back of the red, and then this is the front of the red. This is white, this is red. This is the blue sky, dark, and then it gets lighter. And you have to control your values. This cannot be the same as that, so if that's light, this gets a little darker. This creates an edge, creates contrast. Oh, there's that word. Contrast. Try to create an edge without drawing a line. Let the values, the dark, go up against the light, and you'll create the contrast, which will create the edge. Same thing here. That this should be darker. And then use gradation to transition from dark to light. Because over here is going to be super dark, so watch how dark this gets. I mean, it has to be a little lighter than that. So while this is super dark, the dark blue, it can be gradation because it doesn't have to all be flat. It's darkest there. These are tiny drawings, they're about 2 inches by 2 inches. That's your easiest. This is a white star up against a white stripe, so you might need some gray in here to make that white star pop. And then this is too close, so you might have to go a little darker there. So now you're checking out the composition, trying to balance it. Balance the positive and negative space. This is the negative space, this is the positive space. There's a lot going on in the flag. Maybe you need more negative space, meaning the sky and the gradation, to balance this composition. So this is the simplest, which is basically, if I repeat it, it is forward, back, apex down, line, 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 stars, stars, stars. Okay, that's the easiest. More difficult is two waves. Forward, back, and off the page. Apex, 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 apex. Gets complicated. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here, now these stripes going into here, I don't want them to line up, because then it'll be hard to understand that this is behind that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this exaggerated, and I'm going to use artistic license to stagger these like bricks. Even though it might not necessarily be true, you have to make these decisions to make it believable. And I don't like that curve, so I will straighten that out, and this will be the red. Top stripe is always red, but this is red and that's red. The only way you can delineate between the two of these is make one very dark and then transition to medium. And of course you can erase back the light. And even the light, this is also red. This is really dark. And here, it's still red. And then this is a little lighter. And this a little darker. You get to assign the values, just change them so that you have contrast. The repetition is the repeating of the design. Put some shading in here. Dark again. Dark. So this is medium. This can be really dark. Ultimately, you'll do this with paint. And these are your stars. Off the page again. Makes it more interesting. Lets the viewer complete stars. You don't have to draw 50 stars. We know there's 50 stars. You can complete the composition. Okay. The darkness. The gradation of the sky. Okay, so that's a little more difficult. And then most difficult, and then again, let me just go back to difficult. So you go forward, back, forward, back. So it has two ripples instead of one. Apex down, apex down, apex down, apex down. Parallel, parallel, parallel. Parallel, parallel, staggering, parallel. Parallel. See the stagger? Stagger, stagger, like bricks. And stars going off the page. And red. Alright, most difficult. So this is the beginning of challenging your brain. So here you can go the curve, it ripples forward and back, and then forward and back again. So this one goes whip, there's the wind, apex, pull that down, wind, pull that down. This is behind the flag. This is the foreground, here's the apex. Then it curves, here's the apex before it ripples back. Now you have parallel, parallel, parallel. This is parallel, parallel, parallel. Stagger these, parallel. And those are your stars. They are diagonal, the stars. Okay. And oops. There we go. This is red. 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 First stripe is always red. 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 So if this is red and that's red, to separate these, I'm going to make this darker. Get lighter. Darker. I'm going to play with gradation again. I'm going to come over here and make this super dark. Great. Gradual change. Back to medium. This is the ripple of the flag. It ripples in. Even the whites have grays. Alright, so medium, medium, that's too close. I'm going to make this super dark. Change. Okay, this is medium. I'm going to make this dark. Okay, and then this is the blue. And then here's the sky. Starts off dark, gets lighter. Alright, so that's most difficult. So that's the flow forward, back, and then once you are able to do this, there's the apex, stop, apex, stop, apex, apex. Then you can start having fun and making it even more complicated than that. Do a minimum of 6 to a maximum of infinity. The more you do, the better it will be. Play with the composition. You want to balance the negative space, balance the sky with the flag. You want to be able to draw fluid lines so you have nice movement. Repetition with the stripes, the stars. Play with the value scale for gradation. Control the way you shade from dark to light. Dark, light, and then reverse it if you can. This is the dark. To light. Okay. Let's play with the dark to the light. Dark to the light. Okay. Go for it.